We got next, we're talking about rental rates. Will your property provide enough return on your investment? So there's a lot of different ways to research rental rates. So in this Curry Hollow area, this Curry Hollow Road example, the average rate for a 3-bedroom home is between $950 to $1,050. You obviously need to do this when analyzing your numbers. You need to be able to figure out how much the rents are in that area. So 3 bedrooms are $950 to $1,050. 2-bedroom homes are $750 to $850. In addition to knowing what your rental amount's going to be, you also want to try to get an idea of the average rent increase in the area. So for example, in this particular area, the average rent increase is 2.7%. That gives you an idea of what's going to happen for you as time goes on. So one of the ways that we do several things. We dig really deep. We believe that if you're going to invest in real estate and you're not willing to treat it like a full-time business or connect yourself with a team that is, then you should not do real estate, because you're going to be one of those individuals who go, you meet somebody out when you're watching a game or something and you say, hey, I tried that real estate investing and that doesn't work. And that's not true. It's if you don't either hook up with a team that this is what they do full-time, or you don't make it a full-time business, it will not work. So what we do is we use Craigslist. Now there's different websites out there for determining rents. One of them is, does anybody know any websites that, yes? Rental meter. Yeah. I've seen that, I've looked at that. Zillow. Yeah, Zillow, I'm always wary of Zillow. Have you used rental meter, Rory?
Yeah, I compare that with Zillow just to get a benchmark. Yeah.
And how do you find that to work?
It's pretty good. Pretty good
okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. So Rory recommends using Zillow and rental meter combined. We do look at those, but what we do requires a little bit more work, but we find it to be fairly accurate. So here's the 2 things that we do. We go on Craigslist and we look at everything that is for rent in the area that's comparable to what we're looking to buy in that area. And then we look at all the pictures, and then we map it in location with Google Maps or one of those maps to where the property we're looking to buy is. And then we call those property managers or those listing agents or those owners, and we talk to them about their property, ask them how long their property's been on the market, and different things of that such. So that's one thing we do. The other thing we do is we look up all the property managers we can find in an area, and we call them up and we ask them, hey, how much do you think a 3-bedroom house is rents for in this area? How much do you think a 2-bedroom house rents for in this area? After you call 3 or 4 property managers, you compare the data you find on Craigslist, you compare the data that those property managers gave you, you get a pretty good idea of what you're looking to rent a property for in the area. Yes, sir?
There is a pad mapper, I think it's called, that does exactly the Craigslist mapping it overlaying on Google Maps so you can see the neighborhood, the pricing. You use that?
I like that. I've never seen that. You would save us some time.
I'll send you an email link.
Oh, that'll be great.
I don't remember the full link of it. And I know Craigslist was trying to shut them down.
I believe it. I believe it.
Can you repeat that, please?
What I said or what he said? He said he's going to give the information. There's a pad mapper in which it takes the listings on Craigslist with Google Maps and kind of overlays them.
Right.
So you can see each rental that's available and how much it is, and probably the number of bedrooms and things like that. That would save us a lot of time when researching a new area. See, I came here to be educated, not to educate. So there's always a new tip, and I love that. There's always something new to learn. That would be so awesome.
I think it's actually called Pad Mapper.
Pad Mapper. Hey, Nick,
sure.
write that down, Pad Mapper.
I don't have internet connectivity to check.
Okay. All right, great.
Also, it's not rental meter, it's rent-o-meter.
Rent-o-meter.
Yeah.
Rent-o-meter.
Rent-o-meter.
Rent-o-meter. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so any other comments, questions in regards to rental rates? Yes,
It's
Rory.
similar to what you mentioned, calling property managers. At least in some states, I know, like Arizona, there are property managers that have massive, websites that list their properties for rent, and that's a real good source that I go and just look at 2 or 3 of those, and I already kind of know the areas.
That's very good.
Some benchmark.
Yeah. Yeah, Rory just made a good suggestion. Property manager websites. A lot of property manager websites have properties listed that they have for rent. So you can use that in conjunction with Craigslist and the other things. And one of the reasons I do like calling the property managers is because they'll start to tell you, they'll say, oh yeah, I just rented a property on this street for this much. I just rented a property on this street for this much. That's like having a sold comparable when doing a CMA. So one of the good reasons for calling the landlords and calling the property managers is that they tell you what they just recently rented on what street and how much for. And if you ask the right questions, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how nice was the kitchen? These are things you have to take into consideration. Did it have a garage? Did it have an air conditioner, whole house air conditioner? Was the kitchen granite? Did the kitchen have backsplash? Or was it, regular laminate countertops? So those are different things that you take into consideration. Okay, now to talk about the real estate. So you've evaluated the people. You have a good idea what's going on with the people. Now you need to evaluate the real estate in that neighborhood. You want to understand the vacancy rate in that neighborhood. How many homes are vacant in that neighborhood? For example, in the Curry Hollow Road example, the vacancy rate's only 2.6%. That's extremely low. That's what you get when you get up into a B plus, A minus type of situation. The average vacancy rate in all of Allegheny County, which is the county that Pittsburgh in, is only 3%. Our economy is really strong right now. We have a thriving situation. I would say that a normal neighborhood, you'd be okay with a 4 or 5% vacancy ratio. When you start to see vacancy ratios up over 6, 7, 8%, it gets a little, what's happening in that area. If it's an area that's on the rise, that's good. That's really good. But if it's supposed to be an established neighborhood and you have vacancy rates around, like the 8 or the 9% area, then you just want to figure out why is that and what's happening in that area.